everybody. Welcome to our Sugar Skull decorating workshop. My name is Wendy Centeno, and I am the chef instructor for the Young Warriors Social Justice cooking program here at Tia Chuchas. We are a group of youth. I collaborate with a group of youth here in the Valley, and we are working to create a menu specifically designed for the Northeast San Fernando Valley to feed and nourish our DNA. So stay tuned for that. The youth have been working really hard creating seasonal recipes for the future Tia Chucha Cafe that we want to bring back. So stay tuned for that. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe that I learned how to make many years ago. And I've been teaching this workshop for a long time here actually at Tia Chuchas. So I'm going to show you how to make the sugar skulls and how to decorate them. So everybody was lucky enough to have received, or the people that came to pick up a kit from Tia Chuchas. Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting. And we want to give a big shout out to the Sun Valley Youth Art Center, who helped us put these packets together. So go and check them out and support them out too. So let's get started. Let's kind of go over all of our ingredients that we're gonna be using. If you look on Tia Chucha's Instagram, there is a list of ingredients that you're gonna need. So if you weren't able to get a kit, you can still make these at home. So I'm going to show you how to put one together, but we already have some already made as well. And we actually have some that we made last year también. So if you did not have a kit and you want to prepare your own, check out, check out Tia Chucha's IG, and they put a list of ingredients that you're gonna need for to put these together. So the most important ingredient for our sugar skulls, other than sugar, is some meringue powder. And this, you can find it at any bakery supply store. This was purchased at Michael's, and I've actually had this for like 2 years, so it doesn't go bad. So if you pick up this size, which is a 16 ounce, you can keep this for a really long time. Just store it in a dry, cool area, and you'll have it for a long time. And this is just basically a substitute for egg whites. And it's just meringue pattern. I have like very little left. So this is gonna be the main ingredient other than sugar for your sugar skulls. And what the meringue powder is gonna do is that it's gonna bind everything together. So if you do not have meringue powder, this is not gonna work. So visit either Michael's, or there's a local shop here called Marie's Bakery Supply in San Fernando. They usually have meringue powder as well. Or you could just order it online or what have you. And so basically what you're going to need is just some sugar. And this is just like the cheapest sugar that I found. It doesn't have to be any fancy sugar. And you're going to need to have granulated sugar for this. Granulated sugar, and depending on how many you want to make, we actually made over 100 sugar skulls to distribute to y'all. So if you want to make a huge quantity, you can always hit us up and I can let you know the quantities that you need. But if you just want to make maybe like 5 or 6 of them, you're only going to need about 3 cups of granulated sugar, and about a 1/4 cup of meringue powder, and very, very little water. You don't want to add too much water, because what's going to happen is if you add too much water, they're going to be too runny, and they're not gonna mold. And you're also gonna need a mold, of course. And I believe that you can buy them on Amazon, but for me the easiest place to find them is at Placito Olvera. So if you just hit up Placito Olvera, I'm not even sure if they're open now. I don't know if anybody knows, but we bought our molds so many years ago. They'll last you for like ever. And we bought them at Placito Olvera, just at like one of the random little stores there. And that's like the easiest and most affordable place to purchase. I haven't been able to find them anywhere else that can be like compared to a good price. So just take the subway out there, y'all, Placito Olvera, and get your sugar skull mold. And just know that when you make your sugar skull, it's gonna need at least 24 hours to dry. 48 hours is even better. And what I found out, because this summer we had a huge ant problem, you don't want to leave these just chilling outside. Usually we would just let them dry outdoors and they were fine. Pero como tenemos muchos esquilines, we had to put these inside. But also what I did this year that I had never done before is that I let them dry in the refrigerator. And they work perfect. So if you have an ant problem like I do, just make your little skulls and put them on a little platito. I like to invert a plate, and then I'll just stick this into the refrigerator, and then they'll dry up really nice. So just make sure that there's no like condensation going on in your fridge or anything like that, and you should be good. Don't stick them like in the cajones, just leave them out and they'll be dry in a day. If you're letting them air dry outside, at least a day también, but 48 hours is even better. And you'll know that they're dry when you put your finger on the very top and you squeeze it and it doesn't indent. So these have been drying. These have actually been in my fridge for like a week. So they're super rock hard. And that's because of that meringue powder. So if you've ever had like a meringue cookie or anything like that, you know that the texture is pretty hard. So it's made with meringue powder. Or if you've had like a lemon meringue pie or anything like that, it's the same thing. So these are completely edible. Of course, you don't want to eat them because it's just sugar, but if you like make them and then you find like your kid gnawing on it or something like that, it's going to be okay. Everything is completely edible that's going onto our sugar skulls. And so traditionally we have these on our altares for Dia de los Muertos, and this is just a nice little sweet treat to offer to our ancestors that have passed away. And this is just a really nice treat for them to come and munch on. And like I mentioned, they'll last you a long time. We actually made these last year at our Tia Chucha's workshop here in person. I don't know if anybody out there attended our workshop last year. So we made these, and see, they're still really nice, and they're very colorful still, and they're looking nice. And we've just been adding these to our altar. And this one we made last week with the Tuchin youth. So shout out to Tuchin. They hosted us también. And so we made this one last week. So the colors are a little brighter. You'll notice that with time, the colors are going to fade, but it's still going to look nice. And there's really no wrong or right way on how you want to decorate them. You can decorate them however you want, but we have a variety of little things here that we're going to be using. So I have like these little pearls, and these are red lentils, and we have some black beans, and these are just like little dulcecitos, little candies. And we're going to make our frosting so you can see how we're going to do this. And for those of you that got the kit, then y'all got hooked up, because this is just everything's already in here. But if you don't have this, all you're going to need is some powdered sugar, some meringue, again, because this is gonna, the meringue is gonna help seize it. It's gonna help it not be runny, and just a tiny bit of water. So let's make our frosting, and we're gonna stuff them into our bolsitas here. And our kit also came with 3 different colors, and you can do like a variation of tones with these different colors, or you can mix them up and make like whole another color. So don't just think that you can do fuchsia, orange, and green. Mix it up. Okay, ahí vamos. So this is already, it already has everything that you need for this project. You don't have to add anything else. But again, if you're gonna make this at home and you don't have a kit, get you some powdered sugar. It has to be powdered sugar, not granulated, and get you some meringue powder to help seize it up. So if you've ever had like a sugar cookie that has a decoration on top, and you know that it has that little frosting que está medio like durito, it's a little like hard, that's this royal icing. So I'm gonna make a few different colors. So I'm gonna do half of this bag. And then your colors, once you put them in your bag, they'll last you a while. You don't have to get rid of them. And like I said, it's completely edible. So if you want to like bake some cookies or something, you can totally just use the same stuff. Okay, so I have a little bit of water here. Actually, let me add a little bit more. And you're just gonna add a tiny bit of water. Don't get excited and add a bunch of water because you don't want this to be watery. You want it to be a thick consistency, kind of like toothpaste. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of water here. So this is just the powdered sugar, and it has a little bit of meringue powder in there. So you see, I just put a little chorrito in there. And if you accidentally add too much water, then you can just add more of the powdered sugar. Give us a comment or let us know if you're out there and you're decorating with us. That'd be cool to know if anybody's out there and doing this together with me. Now again, just to kind of go back to what I was saying about the young warriors, if you have a youth that's here in the valley that's interested in learning about cooking and learning about plant-based foods, send them our way. We're looking for youth that are dedicated and that are that want to do work in the community when it comes to like food justice and all that. If you have a youth that is interested in cooking, send them over to us. We would love to work with them. But see how that's looking, y'all? It's not too watery. And I know it looks like I put a lot of stuff in here and it made very little, right? So I'm gonna add a little bit more because I'm gonna try to make a assortment of colors with these three that I have. But I like to do a little bit at a time just to make sure that I don't add too much water. But if you can see that consistency, it's not too watery. Okay? And again, if you added too much water, then just add a little bit more of this stuff. Yo creo que le vamos a echar todo. Let's just do all of it. Why not? And again, shout out to Sun Valley Youth Arts Center who hooked us up with these kits that we were able to provide for the community. And if you don't have a kit, you can always check out the Achucha's Instagram, and they have a list of all of the ingredients. And even if you look on my Instagram at Guayaba Kitchen, I have some ingredients on there as well. Okay, so un chorrito de agua, just a little bit. And I usually like to do this outside because it could get messy. So just an FYI, especially if you're doing this with little kids. So a little bit of agua at a time. And it's good that you do this with a sturdy spoon. Don't use like a disposable spoon or like something flimsy because you really need to be able to get in there and work it. So at this point, I'm just adding a little bit of water at a time just to get it to the right consistency. Does everybody have their altares up, or are they still working on them? I'm going to be working on ours this week. So these skulls that we make today, I'll be able to add them. And you notice our skulls are not 3D, so I only used the front part of the mold. I didn't use the back like head part, but you can do that as well. This is just saving sugar, but if you do the back part and you want to stick them together, what you would first need to do is you would need to hollow them out, because otherwise it's going to be pretty heavy. This in itself is pretty heavy. It's pretty dense. So if you're going to use that back like cabeza part, the skull part that goes in the back, you got to make sure that you hollow both of them out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get some of this frosting, this royal icing, and you're going to slab some in the back and then get the other piece and then stick them together. So this is going to work as the glue to get them to bind them together. But I ain't trying to do the back part, you know, that's a lot of sugar going on. But you can totally, when you buy the molds, it comes with the front and the back. And if you're going to do the back part, you have to let the front and the back dry for at least 24 hours. Then you stick them together after you hollow them out. Then you gotta let them dry for another 24 hours. So it's a process. Okay, that's looking really nice. So now I'm just gonna kind of just mix it up and really try to get a lot of that, those little lumps out. And we're gonna create our colors. That's perfect. I love this. I haven't seen like at the store that they sell like this already, like this. But if you can find it, then this is so much easier as opposed to getting your powdered sugar, getting your meringue, all of that. This is already all pre-measured y toda la cosa, so it doesn't get any better than that. A little bit of water.
Vanessa Galvan is working on her icing.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Galvan. Let's do it. How's it looking, Vanessa? Don't add too much water to it, girl, because I'm telling you, sometimes when I make this, people are like, oh, I made soup. You don't want to make soup. You want to make a paste, you know, like it's looking like glue. I don't know if y'all can tell the consistency of it, but it's looking like glue. And this is looking actually pretty perfect. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So now here I have these little containers. You can use whatever you want, any kind of container. I'm going to start off making my 3 colors. The fuchsia, the yellow, and the green. So if you didn't get a kit, again, you can go to Michael's or whatever bakery store, supply store, and get, you want to get the gel coloring. You don't want to get the water or like the ones that you would find like at Food for Less or what have you, because you don't want to add more liquid to your frosting because that's going to thin it out. So if you buy the gel, then that will not add more moisture to it, and it should keep it nice and thick, just like this. And you can find those, and vienen como, they're like little tubitos like this at Michael's.
Mateo says this is better than the Food Network.
Oh yeah, Mateo, you know what's up. You know how we do over here. And with Guayaba Kitchen, we also do cooking classes. So if y'all are ever interested in learning how to make something, check us out on Instagram and you can take a cooking class with me. Okay, so you don't really need too much. So don't get too excited and use all your frosting. Okay, just to make a few colors. You only need a little bit. Vamos a empezar with my favorite color, green. And just add a little bit at a time till you get to the color that you like. And a little bit goes a long way. Look at that. Like we just added a tiny bit and she looking green already. But I think I want it a little darker because it's looking kind of neon. So again, you could do several different tones of green. Okay? You can mix up colors. Put some green and some orange, or I don't know, make something else. You can leave some white también if you want to add like white detail. You don't have to color it up. I want to know what y'all are making for dinner. I mean, I know that we're making sugar skulls, but what's for dinner, y'all? I'm hungry. Okay, a little bit more. I was just, I don't know if y'all been on Facebook today, but I was just watching a video of Rachel Ray making pozole. Híjole. I don't know.
How thick should it be?
The paste, I mean the frosting should be, it should look like glue, like Elmer's glue, like school glue. That's how thick it should be. And if it's too watery add a little bit more powdered sugar to it. That looks good. That's a nice little green. Yeah. So we're gonna grab one of these piping bags and put this green in there. If you don't have a piping bag, you can use like a sandwich bag. Just put it all the way in the corner and then just, do we have scissors? I think got scissors. You would just snip the little side of it, but it works very well if you just use, thank you, if you just use a sandwich bag. You don't have to get fancy and use a piping bag, but if you got the kit, y'all are fancy, y'all got the little piping bag. Okay, I don't want to make a mess, y'all, and it's really better if you're standing up and doing this. So como que no me hallo aquí sentada, but we're gonna make it happen. All right, here we go. So I'm putting it in, you could put it like in a cup or something so that it's like standing upright, and it'll just be easier to fill. And again, you don't need a lot. Don't get all excited and make like your whole frosting puro verde. Just green.
Angie Castro's eating mole.
Oh, she eating mole for dinner. Okay, Angie. Well, drop some off to me, girl. Angie's son he's one of our social warrior chefs. We made lentejas in class yesterday. Hopefully you like them, Angie.
Melissa Pulido says boring pizza.
Pizza is never boring. Pizza is bomb. That's all my son wants to eat is pizza.
Karina Ceja said chicken salad at Hormiguero.
Okay, Hormiguero eating chicken salad. But where you get the chicken from, Ceja? Pollo Loco or what? Okay, so see, I have very little frosting, and I'm just gonna really just squeeze it all the way down. I want to make sure that it is as low in the bag as possible. Okay, so at this point, you can tie it, right? But we have rubber bands, okay? So I'm just gonna make sure that it's squeezed all the way to the bottom so that this bag is really tight, okay? And since we used the paste, my frosting is not watery. But let's say that you put it in your bag and you thought you did it right, but then you start decorating your skull and it starts like running everywhere, then you can just leave it in the refrigerator for a little bit and let it thicken up, and you should be okay. Okay, so that's one. And if you guys and gals, if you hear noises in the background, that's my son. I have a 6-year-old son that's here. He was supposed to decorate with me, but he's got over it. So I'm going to be decorating by myself. He's much more entertaining than I am. Okay, so that's green. And let's make another color. And I'm going to use the same cuchara. It's okay. Let's do a little bit of this yellow. Or maybe what you need to do first, y'all, is you need to take this off para que se abra bien. So this is yellow. We're gonna do, and again, this is completely edible, so don't worry if like your kids eat it. They're gonna be okay, other than like a sugar rush. Look at how beautiful that is. Hopefully everybody's frosting is looking okay and it's not too runny. You can even stick it in the freezer for, if you wanna thicken it up quicker, más rápido. So add as much as you want, y'all. Add whatever tone you're going for. That's you. Okay, so that's looking nice. That's looking beautiful. Even though I used my green spoon, it still looks really nice. And you see, I'm making a mess, so it's kind of messy, but it's okay, y'all. It's okay. Okay, otra bolsa. And I'm just folding it over to to the line right here where it says max. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little line on your piping bag, and you never want to fill it more than your line, because otherwise it's just gonna get all over the place. So fold it up to that line. And then get you a vaso or whatever. I'm just gonna use my meringue container here. And I'm down to my very last powder. Here we go. Here goes yellow. And again, if you want to use these to decorate cookies, I mean, Halloween's coming up. So bake you some sugar cookies and you can use this frosting. You don't want it to go to waste. Okay. Again, we are going to make sure that we get our frosting all the way tight to the bottom. Look how nice this yellow is, y'all. This is looking really good. This yellow is gonna pop. So to tie them, you could, if you don't have rubber bands, just twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, and tie it. And like make a knot. But again, we fancy, so we're gonna use some ligas.
And I have got 2 kids. Can she use one to decorate 2 skulls? Can she save the other bag for next year?
Yes, you can definitely save it. It'll last you forever. Seha. Just watch out for the ants. But you can use one like frosting stuff to decorate both of them. Because this is going to be a lot of frosting. It looks like very little, but I mean, we're just going to be doing like little puntitas, you know, so you're not going to be using a lot. So you could definitely keep it for next year. It will not go bad. You don't need to put it in the fridge. Just make sure it doesn't get wet or anything like that, and you'll be good. Okay, let's do the next color. Let's do fuchsia, and I'm going to use this still dirty yellow spoon, and we'll see what color comes up. Yeah, these kits are amazing. I'm so excited that we have these kits. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time. As I used this color last week for a workshop, and I think I put too much. Yeah, see, a little bit goes a long way. And it just turns like a wine color. So this is looking kind of winey. And you'll notice too that the longer you let your frosting sit, it's gonna start thickening. Okay, so like for instance, if we look at this one, the plain one, there's already like a crust forming on top. So if that happens to yours, just give it a good mix, just to kind of redistribute everything, and then just give it like a little fluff, and it'll be fine. But you don't want to leave this out. Like if you leave this out uncovered overnight, it won't be good anymore. It'll harden. So what you want to do, if you have like leftover white frosting like this, just put a plastic, cover it with plastic, but put the plastic all the way down so that it hits the top of that frosting, and leave it in the refrigerator. Or you can just put all this white frosting or royal icing in a piping bag, and it'll keep in your fridge for a while, for a long time actually. So just don't let it sit out like al aire libre, like just like without it being covered, because it will harden like this. Okay, so this color is looking kind of weird, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of that red fuchsia. Okay. And I think it's looking kind of weird because my yellow spoon. But that's fine, y'all. It's gonna look cool once we put it on our skulls. A little bit more. And then so this is where you can start messing around and like just mixing colors like my son would do. And he would just make like, I don't know what color. You can do that too. Okay. And I'm not going to mix it too much because I don't know if you can tell, it has like a little tie-dye effect in it. So I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to pipe it like that so that when I put it onto my skull, I can see like the different tones of that like wine color kind of. Muy bien. And just for fun, we'll make one more color. Oh, we'll do a white one. I think a white one would be cool, just a plain white one. There we go. And again, I have a very sturdy spoon because I don't want it to break. I'm gonna use like my weird, I don't know what color this is, wine-ish color. And the reason you want it to be really tight is you don't want to have air in your little bolsita here. You want it to pipe out really nice. Okay, let's give that a tie. So this is kind of the tedious part of just making all of this. If you're going to be hosting like your quarantine pod or what have you, definitely do this ahead of time and lay these out on the table so that everybody can decorate, and make a few of the same colors, right? So make like, depending on how many people you're going to have over, you know, make like 2 or 3 of each color on your table and people can decorate with that. Okay, so vamos a hacer un blanco just with white. And these are the bags that y'all have. They're not these Wilton ones. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of white just to give it a pop. And I think we're good on colors. This smells so good too. Don't eat this, y'all. It's too late to be eating all this sugar right now. I know you're gonna be tempted because it smells so good. That meringue powder is what's making it smell good. Meringue powder is like sweet. The smell of it is really sweet and like kind of smells like marshmallows. It smells good. But don't do it. When was it? Like, I think it was last year when we had a bunch of frosting left over. I'm not gonna name any names, but we did have some Tia Chucha employees that were like eating it, you know. It's good. Don't do that though. It's too late. Okay, so this one we don't have a rubber band for, so I'm gonna show you how we're just gonna tie it. Igual. Okay, so we're just gonna give it a little twist and then tie it. And that's it. Yeah, just a little twist and tie. And it's very taut. It's tight. And if you notice at the very tip of your piping bag, there's going to be just like maybe 1/4 of an inch that doesn't have any frosting. So that's going to let you know where to cut it. So I don't know if you can see that, this very tip right here. So that's where we're going to snip off and start decorating. So know the finer or the lower you cut it, see that? The lower you cut it, the thinner your icing is gonna pipe out. So I'm gonna kind of give it a good look, and I can see that there's an air bubble there and not down here, so that means that there is where I should cut. And it's just a little snip right here. And I have my little platito that I'm just gonna lay this on because some of it will start oozing out. And again, there's no wrong or right way how to decorate this. Just do it however you want. So give it a little squeeze once you cut it. Give it a little squeeze and make sure that it comes out. Because see, like this one, I cut it y no le está saliendo nada. Like nothing's coming out. So that means that I need to cut in a little more. And there it is. Let's check our white one too. Oh yeah, that one's looking good. It's coming out. Great. And this green is a little preview to my Halloween costume, y'all. Stayed up late working on it yesterday. And y'all be able to see it on Saturday. Perfect. Okay, so there's our 4 colors. But you can get creative and make as many colors as you want. The more colors on these, the better. But I also have like all these cool things that I'm going to use to decorate with. And again, this is all food grade, right? You can do like how we did last year. We added like these little sequins on them. You can totally do that too. So if you have like a bunch of like random craft stuff lying around, I know some of us were getting crafty during quarantine. Throw them on there too. It's all good. Bueno, let's get started decorating. Now, just a disclaimer. I'm not a professional decorator, y'all. But I just kind of like to do it however, you know what I mean? I like to start by making the teeth. So just kind of give me a sense of where I'm at. So let's do our dientes. And I'm going to flip this guy over here. And so if you make your sugar skulls, if you make like 2 or 3 cups of sugar, of granulated sugar, then you'll get about 6 skulls. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these wine colored teeth. And if you look, if you have one of these kits, you're going to already see that there's like a mouth on here. So you can kind of just follow that, or you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to pipe out a little bit first, just to kind of really get a sense of what this is going to come out like. Okay. Here we go. Now this works very well if you have like a super artsy friend, or if you yourself are super artsy, because it'll come out really cute. So I got the boca right there. And we're just going to do some little teeth. So you see my frosting is not runny at all. It's perfect. We didn't add too much water. If you put yours on and you notice that it's like running down a lot, stick it in the fridge. And after that, if you stuck it in the fridge and it's still runny, then you're going to have to start all over again. I'm sorry. No, you're not going to have to start all over. You're just going to have to add a little bit more powdered sugar to the mix. Okay. So, okay, there's the teeth. So you see, I didn't do anything fancy. It's just a little line across and then the little dientitos. So now we're going to work our way up the face. So you can see here that it has a little nose. So we're just going to make a definition of the nose. And what I like about this plates is that you can like lift them up and really put them close to you. But like if you don't find yourself comfortable doing that, you can also put it on your hand. And there's a little groove in here for the nose. And that's the nose. And I think that's all I'm going to do with this color. I'm going to start working on the eyes. And I like to fill in the eyes. So the eyes are kind of really scooped in. So I'm just going to put like a little pool of it in here. Put another pool. And then let's give this one some eyebrows. Let's do like Frida inspired eyebrows up in here. Telling you, I'm not the best at decorating these, but I know how to make them. And it's gonna look cute regardless. Okay. So this is like where we can use some of our like little decorating pearls. Put them in here. Cute. Okay. Now, since we have the features already, which is like the most defining features, now we just kind of decorate around it. So if you know, I'm going to do something like this. So you see we did the features, and then now you can kind of get really creative and see however you want to do it. I think my son made this one last year, but it kind of got squished. And he just like put like all the colors in there too. So this is a really cool project to do with the kids because they get really into it. And it's messy, so do it outside with a like plastic cover or something. Okay, so let's get some yellow. I'm gonna try to do a little design around the eye. I kind of want to do like this style where it has like a little scallop around the eyes or like a little florecita. So I'm gonna try to do that as well. A ver si me sale. Let's see if I'm able to do it. And look how beautiful that frosting is. It's not runny. It's perfect, y'all. I'm interested to see what colors y'all made. What colors did you come up with? Hopefully y'all post your skull too, and you tag us. You tag the Achuchas, you tag Guayaba Kitchen, so that we can show you off. Okay. So now I'm just gonna get in here, y'all. I've got my eyes, I've got my eyebrows, got my teeth and my nose, and now it's just a matter of decorating the actual skull. Traditionally, people will do like the initial of somebody that they want to dedicate their skull to. So if you want to dedicate your skull to like your tia or whoever, you can do their initial on their head. Or if you want to do one for your dog, you can do their name on here too. I am going to do a little medallion on top. And then just start decorating. It becomes like its own thing out here. Like you can envision it and you can like look it up and get ideas, but I think it's just better when you roll with it and it kind of just becomes, I don't know what. So we're just gonna kind of get in here. And these are, people get like really intricate with these. A lot of design. So you can even do like ¿cómo se llaman? Piping tips on these bags, so that you can do different like shapes or like different textures on your frosting. También you can do that. But this is just the easiest, simplest, most accessible way to do it. So you see what we're doing? And if you do like little lines like this, you can take a different color and you can put some other color on top, just to kind of highlight it. Cute. And now I'm just gonna put like dots everywhere. Dots is like my go-to, y'all. Like all of my skulls have like dots or like little squiggly lines. And once you're done decorating this, you would just need to let it sit overnight. And in the morning, all of this that is squishy right now is gonna be hard. Yeah, I've seen people really get down with these. Taking some of this white. Just gonna do like little squigglies. How's the decorating going, everybody? How are y'all doing? How's it coming out? Good, I hope. And normally we would do this workshop here at the Achuchas, and we have the center full of families. But, you know, we gotta roll with it, y'all. Sign of the times. So I'm gonna add a little bit of white on the teethus. And I like to do like white on top of like an accent color underneath. That way you can really see it popping out. Cute. Okay. Do more squigglies over here.
Melissa Pulido says it's coming out good.
Yay, Melissa. Don't forget to post your picture, Melissa, so we can check it out. See what it looks like. You can draw like little flowers on here. So see, I have my plato, so I'm able to like lift it up. It's looking good. See, and it looks nice when you have a lot of different colors so that it can really pop out. And so we have all this other stuff that we can put on there too. So like if you want to put some of these lentils, lentejas, you can put them on here. And you're going to notice if you're decorating already, you're going to notice that your royal icing is starting to harden. So this, it gets hard pretty quick, so you got to make sure that you don't let it sit out too long. And now it's just a matter of, so the frosting or the royal icing works as glue. So if you're gonna add like like these little candy guys right here, you got to stick them on there with some of this glue. And these are just like cookie decorating candies. Just kind of put them everywhere. Okay, these are sliding. Maybe they're too heavy. It's okay. I really want to use some of these black beans though. I'm gonna put some in the eyeballs. I was looking kind of visco, but it's all good. Okay, so if we got any artists in the house, I'm really expecting y'all to get down. See, like this one, my sister made it. She got down. I mean, mine is looking cute too, but you know. The eyes look super cute with the black beans. I'm loving it. My candy's kind of sliding, but it'll dry and it'll stick on there. And if you want to keep this for the following year, all you need to do is wrap it in like paper and then put it in a bag and they'll be good forever. I'm telling you, we've made these a long time ago and they're still good. I think that's it, y'all. That looks pretty decorated to me. I am going to let this dry overnight and I am going to use it for my altar. And I have all these other ones too that we can decorate también. So hopefully y'all enjoyed today's workshop. It was pretty straightforward, but if you have any questions or you're not sure or you just didn't have all the ingredients and you weren't able to make them, you can always come back to this video if you go onto Tia Chucha's YouTube channel, and you can check out all the other cool stuff that Tia Chucha's has been putting together for Dia de los Muertos. There's also a video there for the pan de muerto that we made. If you want to make pan de muerto, it's so good. I really recommend that you check out the recipe on Tia Chucha's YouTube channel, and you can make pan de muerto with me. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy evening to come chill with us here at Tia Chucha's. There's still a lot of cool stuff going on in the community. Hopefully y'all make these and add them to your altar. And that's it. Everybody have a good night and we'll see you soon.